So there's Patrick Mahomes dealing with the worst moment of his professional career with a fair amount of grace. I understand the conversation is going to be, in part, what does this do to Mahomes' legacy? Because the tax in American sports of being awesome is a level of dissection unlike anything else in the culture. This is not, there is no discussion if Daniel Day-Lewis puts out a bad movie like, oh, what does this do to him in the pantheon of actors? We don't do that with, I don't think we do it with musicians. I only listen to talk radio, so I don't know much about music. Joy could help me out there. I don't think we do it with musicians. I know we don't do it with actors. And we don't do it with really, really, really good athletes. We only do it with the greatest of the greats, right? Every game is a referendum. And Mahomes has been so great up to this point in his career that it's fair game to ask, what does a Super Bowl where you score 0 touchdowns, where you throw 2 picks, where you're the favorite and you get annihilated due to your legacy? And while a win here would have been massive for his legacy and his ability to climb the quarterback pyramid, if you watched the game and you are being honest and you have any sense of fairness or accuracy, I think it is incredibly difficult to come away with any take other than there is not a quarterback in the league that would have fared better yesterday. There's not one. That's not to say that Mahomes doesn't have weapons. He has amazing weapons. And it's not to say the Bucs defense is the greatest defense of all time. It's very good, but it's a very good defense. But it's not the greatest defense in Super Bowl history. It wasn't even the greatest defense in the NFL this year. But in last night's game, with that Chiefs offensive line lost from the beginning, with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, 2 men I have enormous respect and affection for, inexplicably not having anyone help the offensive line on 92% of the snaps, 92% of the dropbacks, they blocked with 5. Didn't have a single extra blocker out there, even when it was clear those 5 could not block the Tampa front. I think it is incredibly intellectually dishonest to ding Mahomes for this one. You can say it's a missed opportunity. You can say, you know, he left some meat on the bone of the season. All of that's fair. But if you watched the game, not only did I not think he played poorly, I think he made 2 of the most remarkable throws I've ever seen him make. The 3rd and 11 early, and I will think for the rest of my life, I am going to replay what if Tyreek comes down with that 3rd and 11, and what if the pass interference shaky calls aren't made. But neither here nor there. This play right there, when it's 0-0, it looks like, oh, that's a tough catch. Hit him in the face mask. Hit Tyreek in the face mask. He's avoiding a rusher there. He steps up. He throws without planting his feet, sidearmed, in the face mask. And then this other throw, now the game's mostly decided at this point, but it's the very beginning of the 4th quarter. Chiefs scored 21 points in 7 minutes in the 4th quarter last year's Super Bowl. Maybe it's alive. That throw is a magic trick. He is horizontal to the field, and once again, it hits Darrell Williams in the face mask. And I don't know how that's humanly possible, that throw there, but to me, the level of physical agility that it takes to make that throw is the level of mental agility you need if you make last night's game about Patrick Mahomes as opposed to about Todd Bowles, the defensive front for Tampa, and the way the Tampa's offense, by the way, after the opening 2 drives of the game, went up and down the field at will on Kansas City. Kansas City's defense had been bend but not break for a couple of years and had stepped up in its biggest moments. They seemed to have the wind taken out of their sails after the Matthew pick was negated by a defensive holding 30 yards away from the play. But the defense didn't show up either. So if I'm laying blame, Patrick Mahomes is very, very far down that list of folks who have accountability for what happened to the Chiefs last night. Here's Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through their app for no contact delivery and no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. So obviously the Super Bowl was yesterday, but there were a couple other things that happened over the weekends, like the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021 was announced. Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, and Calvin Johnson were all selected in their first year of eligibility. Well-deserved, obviously. John Lynch and Alan Faneca joined them as the modern era selections. Also in this year's class is Drew Pearson, elected as a senior inductee, and Scout and Personnel Executive Bill Nunn and Coach Tom Flores. I am a Pro Football Hall of Fame nerd. Basketball Hall of Fame is obviously a different discussion.
You're a member.
I'm not a member. I am not a member. I have a family member.
You are.
That's a member.
When your brother gets in, yeah, but that makes you in. Didn't he say we're all Hall of Famers now? I feel like he said that in his speech. We're all Hall of Famers. You're a Hall of Famer by proxy, Joy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We have a Hall of Famer on set right now, and Shannon Sharp. We're going to talk to in just a few minutes. I love this. I love this for these guys. And I also love what the Hall of Fame is doing for the class of 2020, who obviously did not get to have their speeches and their Hall of Fame presentation. So they're going to do a multi-day event August 5th through 9th in Canton, where it's going to be an extended weekend enshrinement, so that the class of 2020 will get the opportunity to give their speeches and have their day along with the class of 2021. It's a really amazing weekend. It's pretty cool for fans as well, but obviously, that's a moment that these guys have worked their entire career for, and, to not be able to have that, their speech and their day, is kind of sad. So I'm glad they're able to do that, and congrats to the 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Also, hopefully Zach Thomas can get in there soon. Just a little note.
There you go. More Dolphins family.
Well,
Can I say one thing real quick, Joy?
Yes.
Just real. Tom Flores getting in, it makes me so legitimately happy. Before I came to FS1, I did a radio show in Houston. A guy named John Lopez was my co-host. This was his biggest passion project in sports. That Tom Flores is a trailblazer, and just based on what he accomplished, should have been in long ago. So seeing him get in is great. Obviously, Peyton and Woodson were going to be first ballot guys. And I congratulate the Hall for recognizing Megatron, not making him wait. His peak was so high. The fact that he didn't play that long, I'm glad they didn't hold it against him. So I love the class, Joy.
Yeah, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the top of Hall of Fames. Not that it's a discredit to any other sport, obviously, but they just do it the right way. So the Patriots social media team wasted no time congratulating Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski on their Super Bowl win yesterday. First to Brady, they tweeted, "Congratulations to the greatest of all time." And then they didn't do a separate tweet. They put it on that thread as to not, spread around the interactions. They also gave a shout out to Gronk and said, and Gronk, be careful with that trophy. Gronk dented the Patriots Lombardi Trophy 2 years ago when he used it as a baseball bat during the Red Sox opening day festivities. Gronk will be on Speak for Yourself, by the way, today at 4 Eastern. I thought this was a very, very interesting move by the Patriots. And Robert Kraft made a pretty strong statement going into the weekends that, he was rooting for Tom Brady and he's very happy for Tom Brady. I think it's very interesting that the Patriots organization, and because obviously we know Bill Belichick is not running the Twitter page, and Robert Kraft are out here, like, we would very much like to exclude ourselves from the narrative that we're not rooting for Tom Brady, that we didn't appreciate Tom Brady, that we don't think he's the greatest of all time. And it's a strange, but I have to feel I think it's genuine. I also think there's a slight bit of calculation, two things can be true, that they're trying to separate themselves from that idea that they're angry at Tom Brady or there's any kind of bitterness towards Tom Brady at all. Because one day when we write this story, one day when we have the Last Dance documentary about this era and this dynasty, they want to be looked back on kindly.
Well, two things. One is you just sent a chill down my spine when you mentioned the Last Dance documentary, because you know what's going to be on there, just like it's on there, Tom versus Time? A lot of audio of your old buddy Nick Wright saying, you know what? It's a wrap for Tom Brady, and then he's going to be holding the Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah.
And then the next year, it's a wrap for Tom, he's going to be holding the Super Bowl trophy. Here's the other thing. I'm talking to Queen Petty herself. I will say, on those tweets, congrats to the greatest of all time. The GOAT are supposed to be capitalized there if you really believe it. It's an acronym. And so the fact that they went all lowercase there, to me, their heart wasn't really in the tweet.
Oh, here you go.
If you really believe he's the GOAT, you're supposed to have the GOAT all capitalized.
Yeah, by the way, Shannon Sharp is the one that gave me that nickname, Queen Petty, which has stuck with me.
Queen Petty?
Yeah, yeah, Shannon gave it to me.
Yeah.
So Justin Herbert capped off his fantastic rookie season, winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year on Saturday night. Obviously had a great first season with the Chargers, threw for 4,336 yards, which was the sixth most in the league, and he set the record for most touchdown passes by a rookie with 31. He also converted the most completions and the second most passing yards by a rookie quarterback in NFL history. Chase Young won defense